As day 2 dawned, the firefights on the ground laid open the chance for the medics to ply their skills. We had 3 reporters and camera crews at the critical junctions of the mass casualty exercise. Specialist Sharrell Ables leads off our coverage.
With the battle come the casualties, and the phrase "hit the ground running" takes on a whole new meaning as the 2nd Medical Battalion, 2nd Infantry Division started their mass casualty exercise. And the word exercise becomes a thing of the past as months of training kicks into high gear.
It's pretty good. It's a lot of good training.
What kind of feelings do you have right now? I mean, does this feel pretty real?
Yeah, it feels pretty good. It's the first time I've ever done this, and it feels pretty good.
The scenario for this particular exercise had infiltrators arriving, and a subsequent firefight broke out, which left casualties with gunshot wounds, a traumatic amputation, and burns. The medics determined the severity of the wounds on location, with the most severe medevac to the 43rd MASH. The remaining are given temporary treatment and sent on to the clearing station.
Sometimes when you're training, it looks like you're training for naught, but when we have an exercise like this and they start noticing that the things that they've worked hard to learn are coming into play, their emotional state improves, and they feel really good about themselves and about all the training that they've been able to accomplish.
The soldiers we talked to today were all of one mind. They said while the months of training might have made their job seem overly familiar, today's mass casualty exercise and the experience of saving lives in the field made it all worthwhile. And now taking you airborne with the soldier receiving treatment is Specialist Mark Vega.
The call came in at dark 30 this morning, and as soon as grid coordinates and aircraft were checked and double-checked, the first dust-off crews were in the air flying toward the victims in the mass casualty exercise. The key to being interoperable with forward units seeking help and rear area MASH units providing needed treatment is coordination, according to Captain Thomas Fletcher, 377th Air Ambulance Company Commander.
It's almost like a rehearsal type business, the cohesion between the crew there. Each one of them has their particular slice of duties, and it's almost rehearsed, and it's, I don't want to say rehearsed in a can type of rehearsal, but since each one of those crew members has done this numerous occasions before.
The Blackhawks that serve as air mobile ambulances have the capacity to transport 4 litter and 3 ambulatory patients on one load. Though turnaround time varies with each mission, the choppers can fly for 2.5 hours before refueling, and for training purposes, that's enough time to complete 4 transport missions. Though treatment received during transport is usually minimal, with each turn of the rotor, the air-vac patient is closer to seeing his or her first doctor since becoming a casualty. Aside from the uniqueness of giving medical attention to those in need under such trying circumstances, the most amazing aspect of the dust-off mission deals with the importance of real understanding amongst the crew. The pilot, co-pilot, medic, and crew chief all have to perform their own missions while giving constant consideration to the function of the other crew members. When someone else's life is at stake, that teamwork is critical. For the final piece in the mass casualty exercise puzzle, we turn to Specialist Jim Heller at the site of the ultimate tactical destination of the wounded, the field hospital.
It looked hectic, but it couldn't have been a more welcome sight. After going through a battalion aid station and a clearing point, the wounded soldiers participating in the mass casualty exercise were medevaced to the 43rd MASH. They were taken off the helicopters and transported to a triage area where doctors evaluated their condition and sent them on for further treatment. The steady flow of casualties and the wide range of simulated injuries gave the doctors and medics realistic training. They were forced to evaluate, treat, and move patients quickly, just as they would in a real mass casualty situation. Specialist 5 Sheila Pontes, a medic, says the training was real life, a chance for medics both young and old to get out and perform under fire.
It takes you out of the hospital environment and shows you exactly what we're meant for, and what we're meant for is wartime, to move the troops out and get them evacuated and give them medical care promptly. So this gives you a baseline as to what you're actually here in the Army for, not just hospital duty, but for field operations and getting the patient seen. And that's what this is for, and I think it's good.
After being treated at the 43rd MASH, the patients will be transported to other locations during Team Spirit. Lieutenant Colonel Homer Wright, commander of the 43rd MASH, says despite some initial confusion, the mass casualty exercise went smoothly. There were some problems identified, but that's why you train in a realistic environment, according to Colonel Wright, to find out what you need to do and how to do it well when it counts. Specialist Jim Heller, Team Spirit News, Wanju.